Good evening. Welcome to Stampin' Up with Jamie. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm Jamie. I am here. I am a Stampin' Up independent demonstrator for 6 years now, and I am in upstate New York. Oh, you know what? I meant to post the thing over on Facebook that I was over here. Oops, I forgot. Hello, Sonia and Dawn. Hello, Amy. Hello, everyone. Come on in. Let me know you're here. Please introduce yourself. Let me welcome you to my YouTube channel. So, all this week, I've been playing with the Paradise Palms bundle. It's so tropical. It so just makes me want to have an umbrella drink in my hand with my toes in the sand. Oh, it's so much fun. So I'm going to be sharing a card with you tonight. It's a fairly simple card, but it has this beautiful ombre background, which kind of really sets it off. And I'm going to tell you step-by-step measurements, the whole spiel. I just realized I forgot to get something out. The whole spiel, details, everything, all my tips and tricks. So make sure you stick around to the very end because you're not going to want to miss anything, okay? Hello, Julie, and Patty's here, and Janice. Oh, Upper Peninsula, Michigan. That's fun. Hold on. I realized I forgot to get a little piece of basic black out. Is that? No, hold on. Nope, that's white. How do I have white in my basic black? Oh, I guess I'll use this. This is my scrap from earlier. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Okay, today was such an exciting, oh my goodness, exciting day, okay? If you are a Stampin' Up demonstrator, you already know what I'm about to tell you. But we got to preview the PDF of the 2022-2023 annual catalog. Like, oh my gosh, I am super excited. We got to see all the new product. I'm in love with so much of it. It's ridiculous. All the new paper and some new tools and so many new suites and product, and you're going to want it all. It's amazing. Okay. I'm ordering catalogs first thing in April, and I will ship them out just as quickly as they come in. If you are a current Stampin' Up, if you're a current customer of mine, okay, and you've ordered through me in the past year, you will automatically get a catalog. If you have yet to place an order through me and you don't have a current demonstrator, okay, you still have an opportunity to get a catalog from me. If you place a $50 order in the month of March, I will automatically upgrade to a spiral bound catalog. Okay, your catalogs will come like this, so they just have like a normal binding to them. Anyone who places a $50 order in March will automatically receive the spiral bound catalog, which is amazing. It opens nice and flat. You can fold it over on itself. It makes browsing even more amazing and special and fun and easy to use. Amy's peeking at the catalog right now. I may have a tab open still that says 22-23 annual catalog. Just saying. I look through it, and then I take a break, and then I come back, and then I take another break. It's just amazing. It's awesome. So $50 order will get you that spiral bound catalog. Next business, my project highlight. If you have a Stamparatus and you're like, how the heck do I use this thing? Or would like some extra tips and tricks for using it, I'm opening project highlight for 1 week. Now, little insider scoop. It was supposed to open tomorrow, but I revamped my blog and I have a new kind of app, so to speak, that I'm going to use to push the membership. And it's not 100% set up yet. So that's paused just a smidge. And as soon as I have that up and running, I will announce it. If you don't want to miss out on any of the details, freebies, I'm going to put this link in here, although people have been telling me all week that the link isn't working. So freebies.jamieb.com should work, and it should open up my email form. Can't think of the word, email form. But if you're having a hard time, just let me know. I apologize. Technology isn't always my friend. Okay. So let me do a little. Okay. These are 2 cards that I shared. Again, I'm featuring the Paradise Palms bundle of product. It is a stamp set dies duo stamp set. It is a red rubber cling. So it has great tropical images, fun sentiments. I love how we have a retirement, like so fitting for a tropical stamp set. And then we have coordinating dies, which are pretty amazing. Now, here's the thing. You buy the stamp set, great. You buy the dies, even better. You use the product code that gets them both and you'll have a 10% discount. Okay, good. Thanks, Amy. I don't know why. Sometimes people, it must be, I'm not sure what it is, but it works for some. Like it works for me too, but some people say that it's not working for them. So I don't know. Great dies. I love this lattice. And so that's what I used yesterday's. This was my card yesterday. I kept it pretty monochromatic with a pop of that granny apple green. So vibrant. And then added a little bling here, which I think I even forgot to mention in my blog because it's a little hard to see, but there is a little bling there. And then Monday, I kept it like super, super, super clean and simple. So if you are a new stamper, this is your kind of card. Stamps, ink, paper in a variety of colors, bam, call it a day, and super easy. Okay, so this is what I'm playing with all this week. Today's card, dun, 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 has a beautiful ombre background. Now, I don't usually, how do I want to put this? I use the blending brushes a lot, but I forget to clean them. So I would probably think that it might be a spelling thing. Oh, the extra I. Maybe. Yeah, you could be right. I don't clean my blending brushes as often as I should. So sometimes I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, I wish I had my blending brush, but it's dirty. I need to buy more is the solution. But I knew I definitely wanted to do kind of this ombre sunset background with that just silhouette of the palm trees. And I'm going to walk you through. It's so, so, so easy. You can absolutely do it. There's nothing like out of this world. You just kind of have to, hold on. You just kind of have to build the color. No, that's not what I want. This is what I want. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to use my same. This is what I did it on the other day. You can see my color that I was building. Okie dokie. So what I'm going to do is let's start with the ombre and we'll go from there. Okay, so normally I build up with like the card base and then go from there. Tonight I'm going to build sort of down. And my ink pads are here. I lost them. So the colors that I'm playing with is Daffodil Delight and Mango Medley, mostly just those two. There's a hint of Calypso Coral at the very, very top, but it's just a hint. It's not really an accent color. No problem, Karen. It's been quite the dilly of a day. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have a piece of basic white. This is 3.5 by 4.5, and I'm going to start with Daffodil Delight. When I use my blending, I like to start with the lightest shade and work up to the darkest shade. Okay, so I'm starting with Daffodil Delight, my lightest shade that I'm playing with. And I'm going to be using my I'll do it this way. My 3 blending brushes, okay? And technically, you could probably use the same one for all of them and just start light and then go dark. But I have them all clean, or they're actually still stained from the other day. This one cleaned. And we're just going to build the color. Okay. So when I use a blending brush, I like to hold it nice and low. Okay. I don't hold it up here. I feel like I don't have quite as much control. I hold it down, right down by the head of the brush and kind of grip it. However feels comfortable for you is how you should do it. Next I have my ink pad ready to go. And all I'm going to do is just kind of gently brush the top of the ink pad with the brush. Now, I don't have to push because, as you know, our ink pads are super high quality. The ink is sitting right on top, and so you just have to glaze over it and you're going to pick up the ink. Now, there's kind of a glop of color on this right now, so I'm going to start off on my what is that called? The whatever, the scrap paper. Whoo, I told you it's been a dilly of a day. And I'm gonna then go on to my basic white. So I'm gonna start on my scrap, kind of get that glop of ink off, and then come across. Now you're gonna notice that it's gonna take a lot of building of color here, but you can always add more. You can't take color off. Okay, so start sort of. I know, I just realized I forgot to put a notice over on Facebook, Karen. I literally said that I had every intention of doing it and I had every intention of putting it on Instagram too, and I forgot that as well. So you can always add color, but you can't take color away. So you kind of want to start not too heavy-handed, and I'm kind of doing circular motions because I don't want lines. I don't want like spots. I want a really smooth color. And so the way to do that is just going circular motions, kind of all different directions, not always hitting the same points every time. And I'm going about a third, maybe even a halfway up. Um, I think the key to get a really beautiful ombre is to make sure where the two colors hit is beautifully blended. Okay. So you can't even necessarily tell where the Daffodil Delight ends and the Mango Melody starts because it was blended. You just got to keep blending it. Okay. So, oh, I say don't get a glup, and I just got a glup. I'm guessing I'm going to be hiding that with the sentiment. I'm not sure where that came from, actually. Okay, so I'm definitely going to need to put more Daffodil Delight on, but for now, I'm just going to take a pause. Did you hear that? That was my cats running upstairs. It sounded like they were galloping through the house. Okay, next up is Mango Melody. I always love to see the negative that it makes. Okay, and I have another blending brush here. I'm going to hold it nice and low and swirl, swirl, swirl. Again, I have a glup of color there. So I'm going to, and I don't want to be touching this. So I'm just going to put that over. And we're going to start adding the color. And I'm going to go starting at the top and make my way down. And it's going to touch and overlap the Daffodil Delight. Again, it does take a little bit to kind of build the color. So you're going to have to just keep going, and you can always add, can't take it away. So sometimes I like to put it on and then I kind of hold it back. Like, do I like it? Does it need more? It definitely needs more. Hello, Zara. Heads up, y'all. Zara and I were just talking about our upcoming stamp camp and working out what products we want to use and feature. So that's coming June something, June 7th, maybe. Anyways, I'd have to look at my calendar, but keep an eye out for that. More details will follow for you to, I know I'm using yellow. I don't even know. I'm doing a sunset. It has to be yellow. Has to be yellow. I can, if it's something like it has to be yellow, I can justify it. But if it's something like, what color should I use? I think I'll use yellow. No, not happening. Not happening. Okay. So I'm getting there. You can see there's definitely a stark line where the daffodil starts and the Mango Melody, where daffodil ends and mango starts. But before I keep going, I'm going to take some Calypso Coral and I'm going to hit the very edge of my cardstock here. Just the very top. I just want it a little extra dark. A little, you could also use pumpkin pie if you have that color. I think Calypso is a nice coral color, like reddish, yellow, orangey, and it adds a little extra warmth. You could use pumpkin pie too if you wanted. Okay, so now, oops, sorry, I totally got it off the screen here. We're good. I'm going to add, now I'm going to go back and add a little bit more Daffodil Delight and really focus on blending the colors, okay? I really think that's key to really having a super smooth ombre look, is to blending the colors, really having them kind of overlap each other where they're not one color and two colors, or one color and one color. What I'm trying to say is where they go from being two separate colors to one color. That's what I'm trying to say, and it's not coming out at all. I know it makes sense in my head, but then when I go to put words to it, it doesn't make sense. Okay, now I'm going to really go over where they mesh. I love this so much. Whoops. And it's like impossible to pick up. I need it a little darker in that middle. You can tell I didn't hit that middle very much. That's okay. We're going to hit it now. And I can bring down that Mango Melody a smidge more too. It's mostly yellow. She's right. Didn't know you were. I know. I know. I put it on my blog and I did put it in the post this morning, and I had every intention of putting a Facebook post, Michelle, and I completely forgot. I didn't forget. Oh, that's not what I want. I want Mango Melody. I did remember, like at 6:30, I'm like, oh, I got to do that, and completely forgot to do it. So I'm sorry. I got to get better at that. I think I might switch to YouTube. It's a little it's a little easier, and I think more people are likely to catch the tutorial on YouTube as opposed to Facebook. So this may become the new norm. Okay, I'm kind of testing the waters. We'll see how it goes. Okay, and I think this might do it. And then I might just add a smidge more. Don't go anywhere. A smidge more Calypso coral, and then call it a day. You got to be patient with it. You really have to just work the color, build the color till you get what you like. Okay, I'm going to add a smidge more just dark on the top. I love that. Just, I don't want it too far down. I literally just want it a little bit at the top. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, don't even get me going with the retiring list, everybody. I forgot to mention that. Oh my goodness, I forgot to mention that. Retiring list came out today, and with it, a whole bunch of my favorites retiring. They are retiring. I can't even like bring myself to say it. I am so distraught about it. The Tasteful Textile Embossing folder. Like, I don't even have words. I don't even have words. It's my absolute, I'm using it tonight, my absolute favorite embossing folder. Love it so much. And they're retiring it. How can they be retiring it? Oh, and the hippo dies too. Kim, I didn't even realize that. I knew this stitch so sweetly. Oh my gosh, the hippo dies. Are you serious? Oh my gosh, I can't. I just can't. It's such an exciting day when a new catalog goes live. Like, we get to see it, but it's also like, because then you realize all your favorites are retiring. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize that. Okay, this is what we're left with. On the camera, if I'm looking at what you're looking at, it does look a little choppier, but in person, it's actually really, really smooth. I'm not sure. There's a little bit, it looks smoother on my end than it does on the camera. Okay, but that's what we have. And then I really want it to pop. I want it to be a pop. Hold on, I can't, what do I do with my adhesive? Oh my gosh, it's right here. My goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so then I'm going to put it on, don't mind me, I'm going to hold it with my sleeve. Really professional to hold it with my sleeve. I'm going to put it on a piece of basic black that is 3 5/8 by 4 5/8, so 1/8 bigger. Boop. Doesn't that pop? It just like comes right off the page with the black background. Okay, we're good. We're good. It's all good. Listen, guys, we're going to find another embossing folder. It's going to be okay. I've already seen the new embossing folders. It's all going to be good. It's all good. Those favorite dies are retiring. It's okay. I'm telling you, I saw amazing, amazing things. And good news, I'm pretty sure this one's carrying over, this bundle. I think I saw that. I meant to double check, but I'm pretty sure I saw that. But it's so pretty. They have amazing dies. The sweets are like, they're amazing. Telling you, if you're not a demonstrator yet, you should really become a demonstrator because you're going to want the 20% off discount. I'm just like, consider yourself warned, okay? Because the wish list is long and, you know, the 20% helps. So if you, it is. Thank you, Karen. I thought I remembered seeing that. Although I can't always go by my memory, you know that. But if you're not a demonstrator, now is a great time to join, okay? So I used the dies, the Palms dies, I believe they're called. And I just cut out two. There's two of these sort of standalone. And you can do a couple different things with these. I could have taken the blending brushes and cut these out of basic white and added like a green to the top and brown to the bottom. You could also cut them out of like watercolor paper and watercolor over them to add color. Or you can literally just cut them out of basic black cardstock like I did and make sort of a silhouette of them, okay? And I have them sort of offset from one another. I'm going to keep that one on so I kind of get placement for this guy. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness, I'm shedding. Okay, so down we go. Not all the way because the very bottom's going to off-hang just a smidge. And I'm going to have to trim it, so I don't really want that to have glue on it. So one little palm tree and two little palm trees. Doesn't this make you want to go to an island somewhere and drink a very fruity umbrella drink? It does for me, at least. It does for me. Okay, so did that. I can never find anything. And then we're just going to do a little trim haircut at the bottom. I'm telling you guys, the catalog's so good. So good. So good. Okie dokie. My husband just dropped dishes. Okay, so now let's build the card. Okay, so I have pool party. This is, okay, let me talk to you about my sort of design thought process. I hemmed and hawed as to what color to make the card base. Okay, I mean, I really was like struggling. I tried Mango Melody. I tried black. I tried the Daffodil Delight. It was too matchy. I needed the brilliance of the black is that it makes it the pop, right? And so I needed something. And honestly, sometimes when I need like a neutral that's not a neutral, I go for pool party. I find I treat pool party almost like a neutral. I love pool party with red. And I think it really works for this card because it's not too matchy. It's not super dark like the basic black. It's just a nice contrast color to the yellows and oranges. And of course the black. So that was my thought process behind going pool party. I didn't emboss this ahead of time. Oh my gosh, you're going to Hawaii? What? When and how can I fit in your suitcase? Where are you going? We went to Hawaii on our honeymoon. We went to the Big Island. I'd love to get back someday. Okay, so let me just emboss this with my favorite embossing folder that's going to be retiring. I just can't even tell you how upset I am about this. And the tasteful what's it called? Oh, I almost knocked over my water. The dies, the tasteful labels, I think are retiring too. Do you know they are like the tasteful textile embossing folder and the tasteful labels dies are like my go-to for like when in doubt, that's what I use. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So if you want these items before they go and are gone for good, you need to get them because now everything is while supplies last. So I wouldn't want you to miss out. And I'm struggling with my adhesive here. Oh, doesn't that sound lovely? I'm sure I can fit in your suitcase. I might have to have a moment over the tasteful labels, dies, and tasting. I agree. Those hurt. You feel I feel those. Those are like those are absolute staples in how I craft and what I do. So those hurt. Okay. Hopefully I don't move the computer too much. I forgot to get my dimensionals out. Yeah, that hurts. Ooh. Oh, they're taking away my favorites. It's okay. It's coming. All amazingness is coming back instead. I wish you could see. I wish I could just show you. I wish I could do a screen share and just like click on that tab over there. I would get fired. I would be like, Stampin' Up would call me and say, you are no longer a demonstrator. Okay, so here's the truth about this. I accidentally cut this 3.5 by 4.5, and normally I would have done 3.5 by 4 3/4, but I left it and I just kind of did this with it. I don't know. It's very different than what I normally do, but it sort of works. I will say, however, that the stitched rectangles dies are staying because after I saw the tasteful labels gone, I was like, tell me they did not take the rectangles. Because that would just push me over the edge. Right? Right. Okay. So we're going to do some embossing, which I'm not ready for, like, at all. I haven't gotten anything out. Hold on. It's been a crazy day. I am so sorry. I've been drooling over new product and neglecting to fully get ready for my live and post that I'm live over in YouTube. I neglected everything I wanted to do so that I could have an extra 5 minutes looking at the new catalog. Hippos in the cart. Yeah, that I wouldn't wait on those, Kim. Those are amazing products and everybody should have them. Okay, so I'm stamping on some basic black. I am using the good old Embossing Buddy, which is no longer available through Stampin' Up, but I do hear that Amazon sells something similar. I've also heard that you can use cornstarch, okay? Just gets rid of all the static so that when we sprinkle the embossing powder on, the powder is just going to go to where we've inked up our sentiment and not all over the place. Okay, so I'm using Versamark ink. This is, there we go. This is the ink pad that you want to use when you're embossing. It stays wet longer, so it gives you time to really sprinkle on the, ooh, you know what we're doing? I just remembered I'm doing this technique. I literally made this card yesterday, and I'm totally drawing a blank as to how I designed it. Okay, I'm going to show you a little cheat on how to use the rectangles dies. Okay, we're going to do a cheat, because if you look through the dies, you're going to go, there's not a die that size, and you would be correct. You would be correct. We're going to make it work. I'm going to show you how to really, ooh, the embossing powder almost spilled. I'm going to show you how to really get even more bang for your buck with those rectangles dies. Okay, so I sprinkled it generously with white embossing powder. I'm going to heat it up, which hopefully it reaches. I'm going to heat it up, and when it goes from a powder to a nice bright shine, you are good to go. Perfect. Okay. Ah, turned on. Ah, it turned on again. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I dropped it on the floor. It turned on, shut it off, dropped it again on the floor, and it turned on again. Okay, so stitched rectangles dies. I think this is the one I'm using. Let me just double check with my guide here. Yep, this is the one I'm using. So I'm going to use the die that measures 1 by 3. 1 by 3. And I'm going to do a little finagling. Okay. Yeah. So I have my plate. I'm trying to burn the place down. I have to, when we go on vacation or like leave, I'm like, don't forget to unplug the heat machine. I can only imagine, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to focus on one end of the sentiment and sort of figure out how far away I want the die to be. So I'm right now figuring out like how much space do I want right here? Do I want more space? Do I want, like, I could just cut the whole thing out, but I don't want it to be that long. I don't need it to be that long. That's way too long for the size of my sentiment. So I'm going to shorten it. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is run this through my die cutting machine halfway down. Okay. Let me say that again. You have to do it. You have to only go halfway down. Do not crank that entire die through. You will cut the whole thing out. We don't want to cut the whole thing out. I want you to put it in your machine and crank it until it goes halfway, about halfway down your sentiment, and then stop, backtrack, and take it out. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Okay. So let me just do that here. Halfway. Got to go slow and then come out. Okay. So then this is what you're left with. Okay. So when I take off my die, you have half your sentiment. I can't show you. Half the sentiment cut out. Okay. So what I'm going to do next is the same thing. Now I'm going to line up my grooves. It's easier to do with it down until my stitches kind of fall into each other. So I kind of, well, there we go. Except that's a little too close. So literally my stitched in the dies is sitting in the stitch that were already cut out. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So I have the little grooves of the stitched rectangle are literally caught. I think they're caught. Why do I feel like that's not really caught though? It's a little too close. There we go. Okay. I can't move that die. It's literally sitting in the little groove that was made. And what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to crank it through my machine halfway through. Do not go all the way through. You could do all the way through now, but then you're going to have your stitched all the way through. It just won't look polished. Okay. So I'm going to push it through halfway through my machine. Halfway through my machine. Here we go. Think about it really hard. Don't let it get away from you. You got to go nice and slow. Okay. So that when I take it apart, huh, ta-da! Ta-da, ta-da. I love that trick. It really makes the rectangles. You can do any size. You could do super thin. You could make it even longer. Same concept. You just have to play with it a little bit. I love that so much. Okie dokie. So we're going to do a little bow on the back side here. And to do that, I'm just going to tie a bow. You know how I feel about tying bows. I can handle twine though. I didn't check to see if this twine was retired. I really need to go back and sort of analyze the catalog a little bit more. And I'm leaving it super long and sort of lanky because that's kind of what I want. And like that. Sure, why not? We'll go with that. That works. Okie-dokie. Give it a little bit of a haircut, not much. And then we're going to put dimensionals on either side around the twine. I can't believe I didn't put a post on Facebook. Listen, if you found me from Facebook, you get kudos for the night because you found me of your own accord. Bravo. Oops. Okay, so we're going to peel the dimensionals off. Make sure, yep, we're right side up. And then I'm just, I guess I won't cover that. It's a little too high to cover it. I don't know. How about there-ish? However you want. And I didn't add anything else. Actually, if you look, this is very interesting. I went a little heavier handed with the Mango Melody and Calypso Coral. So depending on sort of the color that you build and how many times you go over and how heavy handed you are, you know, you're going to get, it's hard to kind of replicate it perfectly. But if you want a darker sunset, add more. If you want it lighter, add less, that sort of thing. Okay. So that's the front. And then the inside, I'm just going to add a basic white. What did I do with my basic white? I had it. I mean, I thought I had it. I know I cut it. The question is, where is it? I'm going to have to cut another one. I have no idea where. I know I cut it. No, I cut it. I think I cut it. No, I know I cut it. Hold on. Sugars. Hold on. I got to open a new basic white. I'm all out. I know I cut it. What did I do with it? You know I'm going to find it as soon as I'm done with this. Okay. Thank you, Elaine. Thanks, Mary. Vancouver, Washington. That's exciting. So is it 4 o'clock there? Are you 4 hours behind us, I wonder? So my inside is always the same, 5 1/4 by 4. I just dropped my cardstock. I got to pick that up. 5 1/4 by 4. Oh, gravy. And I'm going to use that one cluster of palm trees with a mount and basic black. Now, I could have cut out just another palm tree, the same kind that we cut out for the front. That would have worked just fine. I didn't want something quite so big. I wanted it a little smaller, a little more scaled back. So that was sort of my thought process behind using the trio of palm trees as opposed to mirroring the palm tree from the front. And then this goes on the inside and we're going to call it a day. Super easy. There's not a whole heck of a lot to this. This one. Just building the color is what takes the time. The blending and really creating the ombre, but I love the effect it gives. It's really, really cool. And I did oranges and yellows. You could do blues and purples. You could do so much. The blending brushes just open this whole other world of possibilities and things that you can do and just have fun with it. That's what's important. Get creative, have fun, try new things, and yeah, just have fun with it. Oh, thank you so much, Patty. I appreciate it. Good. I'm glad. Okay, so that's it for tonight. Here's the thing. Just a reminder, get your $50 orders in now so that you get the upgraded spiral bound catalog in April. A. B, heads up, I'm not going to be live next week. I'm taking next week off. It's my dad's birthday. So we're going out to dinner, celebrate his birthday, and hang out with him. So I will not be live next week. at all. Not on YouTube, not on Facebook, not anywhere. For real, I won't be around. So if you have questions, the retiring list is up. The discounts, some of them are actually like really, really good discounted product. Get those orders in. Those items are available while supplies last. So don't wait, don't hesitate. If you have questions, let me know. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. I so appreciate you finding me over here on YouTube. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Okay. Bye bye, everyone. Good night.